Parts of the specification. What constitutes a specification? We had seen that the patent specification comprises of two things, two broad things, and that's how we have structured this course. We had looked at the problem solution statement, helping us to create a claim. So there is a claim which we are looking at. And in this set of lectures, we were looking at everything else other than the claim. So the patent specification includes the description and the claims. So the descriptive part along with the claims is what we call or refer to as the patent specification. Now the description itself has many parts. It has a title, it has a background, summary, detailed description, abstract, and drawings also become a part of the detailed description. This tells us that the description comprises of various parts. The title, there's a statutory requirement on the title. Background and summary are requirements which are regarded as a part of the descriptive part, to which we will now turn our attention to. To whom is the patent addressed to? The patent is addressed to a variety of people. Now, I had mentioned this when I wrote my first book in 2007. Patent specifications are curious documents in that they are written by a group of experts, patent agents, embody the rights of a group of creative people, inventors, are addressed to a hypothetical group of skilled persons, whom we call the persons skilled in the art, and may, if the case so demands, be interpreted and constructed by a legally trained group of persons, examiners and judges. Now you can see that patent specifications are not addressed to one set of people. And you could add many more to this group. You can have angel investors who are interested in looking at a startup which has a patent. You could add consultants who would value intellectual property, intellectual property valuers. You could have financial people who want to gauge a particular intellectual property before advancing a loan or making some kind of an investment into the company. So you could have a whole lot of people who could be interested in a patent specification. But technically, the patent specification is addressed to a person skilled in the art, which is a hypothetical construct, because a person skilled in the art at times could be a group of people. It could also be a group of people working in different parts. It could be a group of people who have different skills which are brought together only for the purposes of interpreting a patent specification. So it's a hypothetical construct because if the invention combines technology from three fields, then you will have to assemble, hypothetically that is, you don't actually do that, assemble a group of people who will have skills from all the three fields of technology. So it is from that perspective, from the perspective of that group, that the patent is constructed. We have seen that the patent specification has to describe the invention. Now, the description of the invention, as we have said, has different parts. We saw the requirements, that there is a sufficiency requirement, of which the enablement requirement is a part. Then we saw the best mode requirement and the utility requirement. Now, how these requirements translate into different parts of the specification is what we will now look at. Now, we have already covered section 64(1)(h). So the person to whom it is addressed to is a person who has average skill in or average knowledge of the art. This is the person to whom the invention is addressed to. And the enablement requirement tells us that the person should be able to come up with the invention. Though it is addressed to a person skilled in the art, patents have to be drafted keeping a wider audience in mind. Now let's quickly run through the role of the description or the descriptive part of the patent specification before we see what are the different parts and what are their function. Now, it explains what the invention is. In the descriptive part, you convince the examiner or the patent office that there is an inventive concept that can be claimed, because the descriptive part comes before the claim, And what you do in the descriptive part is, apart from supporting the claim, you convince that there is something inventive. It also supports and explains the claim. It teaches the public. This is the teaching requirement in patent law, where it enables a person skilled in the art to perform the invention. The descriptive part of the patent, the description, tells the story of the invention, and the story concludes with the claim. So it is essentially narrating the life of an invention, or how the invention has come into being, what are the problems that were overcome, and what are the different parts and how the parts work.